So good evening, Dominic.
Good evening, Chris.
I'm very happy that I can have you at this interview here. Dominic Rittler is the ASI president of Switzerland, and I have the privilege to have an interview with you for a few minutes to get to know the secrets of what you are doing the last years.
Okay, let's go.
Dominic, since
Let's
when?
try to find out.
Yes, Dominic, since when are you the ASI president in Switzerland? So how long are you the ASI president?
I am now in the ASI board in Switzerland the last 3 years.
Yes.
So, and the last 2 years, I am the president of ASI Switzerland.
That's very nice.
So, and before I was 1 year before I was the secretary of ASI Switzerland.
Okay. So Dominic, as you joined the ASI board in Switzerland, do you remember how many members did you have at that time?
From that moment when I get in the ASI board, I start making statistics to find out how many people we have and how big ASI Switzerland is, because before I was in the board, I have no relationship with ASI Switzerland. I didn't know much about it. And as I remember, we was maybe, let's say, around 60 people.
Okay.
55, 60 people around that, yes.
Around 55 to 60 people. And what would you say is 55, 60 people? They have been very active, or have they just been members and coming to the annual meetings? So what would you say? How was ASI 3 years ago?
No, I was surprised to see that not very much people in ASI was very active. So we have a small group of people, between maybe 15, 20 people, who are coming to the meetings, who are involved in all the meetings, who are coming to the General Assembly. But I see that most of the people are not coming, and all what I see too is that we have around, like I say, around 60 people on the list. But what I see that more than 50% of the ASI members was not even paying their membership fee and was not existing. They was just on the list, but they was not active. They are not coming to the meetings. And so I would say that we have around 30 people who was in ASI and coming to the meetings and paying the membership fee. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
So that's a quite challenging situation. And I can imagine that lots of other countries have similar situations like you had it in Switzerland.
Yes, we should hope that it's not in that situation, that it's like that. But I assume that it will be like that, that many people are on a list. They are members of, even in the Seventh-day Adventist Church, we have members in the church who are never coming to a Sabbath, never to a Bible study group or something. And but I hope that some people are waking up and pushing more work and more of their time into the mission work, because the mission is the last thing that we can do in the next few years before Jesus is coming back. And I hope that we can wake up the people and tell them how important it is to go on. Yeah.
So that's what I like on your mindset. I don't know how long are you an Adventist? When did you become an Adventist?
I became an Adventist 10 years ago.
10 years ago.
I was originally growing up in the Roman Catholic Church, and I lose completely my belief in God and everything. And then many, many years later, I find somebody who is telling me about Jesus and about studying the Bible. And so I come back to in a Christian church. It was at the beginning not a Seventh-day Adventist church. But after a while, when I study the Bible, I see that we should keep the commandments and go on Sabbath in the church and all that stuff. And reading the Bible and studying the Bible was the point that brings me back to the Seventh-day Adventist church. Yeah.
That's very nice. So,
and that's what I want to do. I want to bring this message to the people, because I see how this is changing my life, and I hope that I can give something back to the people, that other lives can be changed too.
That's nice. And I really like that, because you as a president, you understand ASI really as a mission tool to motivate people, but to also do the work, not just talking about the work, but do the work, going out, having projects and reaching out to people, right? So could you hear me?
So I can hear you now. I'm sorry,
Yes.
I was down. So can you repeat, please?
Yes. So what I understand is, from your point of view, is that ASI is really a mission intensive institution. It's not like just coming together, having some nice dinner, but it's not only talking about mission, but it's doing mission work, right?
Yes, absolutely, yes. I see that when I become a member of the ASI board, what ASI Switzerland was doing. And that was for me a little bit disappointing, because I see that we have only one day in the year that we have our General Assembly. We have a Sabbath together. So the people has to come from all different places from our country, meeting in one place, getting early up in the morning, having a full packed Sabbath, completely stressed out. And then at the end of the day, when the people are tired and want to go home, we have a general assembly until midnight or even longer. And people were so disappointed that they say, I don't like to go there. This is crazy to have a 24-hour day and going crazy. And I think, what are we doing? Why we have only one single day in the year for ISI and not 365 days?
So that's a very good thought, because many other ASI chapters, they're doing the same thing. We are meeting once a year. Every board meeting is concentrating according to this one upcoming event. So you have 1, 2, 3, or 4 days, but everything, not all chapters, but many chapters are concentrating only on the annual convention, which is good, but it's not enough. But that's what you say, right?
Yes. And I see that we are responsible for the mission work, and we cannot sit around and doing nothing and let other people doing the work, and we just sit there and say, looks good, yeah, do it, go on. I think I am responsible. I am the president of ASI Switzerland, and I have, if I want to be a leader that shows other people what they have to do, I have to go first forward and do it on my own. And as long as I, as the president of ASI Switzerland, is doing nothing, I cannot ask other people to do something. This is not good leadership. So if you want to have a good leadership, you have to prove that you are doing the work for your own, alone when it's necessary, alone, and then the people will follow you.
Very nice. That remembers me very strongly on Jesus. He said, follow me. So he had the follow me principle, right?
Yes, exactly.
So Dominic, tell me something, or tell us something. How did you change it from a yearly convention to what are you doing now? What did you change? Do you have more meetings? So what are you doing as an ASI chapter in Switzerland?
Yes, what we are doing, the last 3 years, I was going out and speaking with the people personally. When I go out on Sabbath for preaching, and so I was not in ISI to send some emails or send some letters out, newsletters and stuff like that. So I go to the people directly. I look them in the eyes, I shake their hands, I speak with them personally, and I try to find out if they are burning for the mission. And I ask them if they want to be in a team that will be supporting the mission work in the future. So that means in the last 3 years, we have now around 100 members in ASI Switzerland. So, and in the last 3 years, we have more new members than we have in the past, because a lot of people are leaving ISI because they only exist on the paper, don't pay the membership fee. So we have cleared the old list. We have cleared the list completely out, and we keep the people who wants to do something. And now we have in the last 3 years, more new people in ISI than we have 30 years before. And there are people, young people, who want to do something, who want to go to a mission school, who want to help and supporting by doing missions. And that is the second point. Switzerland is a little bit different than other European countries, because we have 4 languages in our country. So everything what I do, I have to do it in 4 languages. I have to do it for the Italian part, for the French part, for the Swiss part, German part, and also in English. So, and everything what we are doing in 4 different languages for 4 different parts of Switzerland. So that's a lot more work than people has to do in Germany, where everything is in the German language. And then I tell myself that we want to do in every part of Switzerland a meeting, not only for one day, but for at least a weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So we will do in the future, and we have already started with that program, that we will do one meeting in the beginning of the year in one language part, like Italian, then another meeting in the French part, and the General Assembly then in the German part, and we are rotating the General Assembly from the German part, the French part, the Italian part, and every 3 years the General Assembly is in one of these different language parts, that not the people can say, okay, we know ISI existing, but we have never seen that they are coming to us because you don't understand our language or so. So I am now in the Italian part of Switzerland. We have not a single member in Italian part of Switzerland. We have never done their meeting or something, and I want to change that. So I go to the pastors and in the churches, and I say, we want to come back every single year, and we will forcing the mission every single year. And if you don't help us, we will do it alone until you see that we are doing it, and you will follow us. And so we are doing now at least 3 or 4 meetings a year, for at least for a weekend. And we will pushing the mission, that the people see that we are doing something, and the people see what's going on, and they say, I want to be a part of it because there is going something on. I want to be a part of this group.
Wow.
And we see that our group is growing and growing and growing, and we have now even some members in the Italian part, and the people are excited, and we have now our General Assembly, and it's much better that the people are coming to the General Assembly because they see that we are starting on Friday. We have a normal Sabbath without stress, with a beautiful Sabbath. And then on Sunday afternoon, when the most people are going home, then the members can have the General Assembly, and we are in 2-3 hours finished, and the people has enough time to go home, and they don't have to be on their feet for more than 24 hours and almost sleeping in the car on the way back home. So that is much safer. The people see what we are doing, and they are very excited that we are going on.
Wow, that's so amazing. I can really see that you are on fire. And let me try to summarize what you said. So one thing what you said at the beginning was that I am visiting members personally.
Yes.
That was one thing. So I am visiting now, I'm shaking their hands, I'm looking into their eyes, and I ask them, do you want to be a part of that mission movement? That's what you said, right?
That's a personal relationship like Jesus wants to have with us.
Yes, yes. So this is amazing. And you're connecting that as are you preaching every Sabbath? So are you going to different churches, or how are you visiting the people?
I am preaching around 40 Sabbaths around the whole country, even in Germany or in other countries. And I am almost every Sabbath somewhere on the road for preaching, or I am going on other Sabbath somewhere. And when I meet the people under the week somewhere, and when I see that other churches are doing something, I go to see what they are doing, meeting people there, telling what I am. And on every Sabbath, when I preach, before I preach, I take 10 minutes time. And then 10 minutes before I preach on Sabbath, I promote ISI. I tell them what we are doing. I tell them that we are coming back. I tell them that we are supporting young people to go to a mission school. And I force the people to try to start a mission project, because we tell them, if you don't know how to do it, call me and we will help you to do your mission work done, and helping to supporting you with finances or with knowledge. And try to motivate the people, come out, don't sit at home and wait until some other people start to do something. You be the person who started, and if you need help, there is my business card, call me and we will be there and help you.
Wow.
And people like that.
This is a very direct way for Switzerland, right? Swiss people are usually very kindly, very friendly, not very direct, but this is a very direct approach, very warm approach, but a very direct approach.
Yes.
And it seems that even Swiss people like that direct approach because the number shows your success. Have doubled ASI Switzerland in 3 years.
Yes, yes.
That's amazing. We can praise God for that.
Yes, yes.
So you make visitation, you clear up the papers, you ask the people, do you want to be a mission movement? You go almost every Sabbath to preach on different sites. You talk to the pastors. Is there anything else you're doing which we can give to other chapters who say, man, this is amazing. He doubled the membership in 3 years. Is there anything else you would like to tell our brothers and sisters what you're doing for your success?
Yes, you have to love the mission work.
Yes.
And to love the mission work, you have to love Jesus first. Because if you don't love the relationship that you have with Jesus, you will not burn like crazy to go out and do something. And if that is not happen right now, start reading the Bible again. Try to find the belief again, the relationship again with Jesus. And if Jesus is coming back in your heart, you will be able to do everything.
Wow.
And don't step back and say, oh, I cannot do that, or I don't know how, or what should I do first? And many people are stopping their work because they try to organize everything perfect. They try to be prepared for everything, for every question. I don't prepare for anything. I just go and do it. And trust in God and let yourself lead by God and say, if I go there, pray in the morning when you go out of the house and say, please, Lord, when I go out, give me the right words, help me to support these people. And very important is one thing. When you promise the people that you are coming back and helping them,
yes,
you will go back and help them. You don't call them on the phone, oh, I'm sorry, I don't have time. I have to do this. I have another important message. When you promise with your word that you are coming and helping the people, whatever it happens, you will go and help them. And I can give you an example. Right now, you see, my arm is a little bit distressed here. A few weeks ago, I was in the Italian part of Switzerland preparing for the ASI meeting, and I have an accident. I fall down a chair, a staircase there.
Yes, yes.
And I break my shoulder. So it was on Sabbath evening after I preaching in Lugano. We go out on street and distributing books and flyers for the ASI meeting. And Satan kicked me and he threw me down and I break my shoulder. I have to go to the hospital. They say that my shoulder is broken multiple times. I have to have a surgery. And what should I do? I think, should I be angry? What happened? But I promised the people I will be there and I help you. So I was on Sabbath in the middle of the night sending back home because they don't want to have a surgery at the weekend. So they tell me that I have to come while the week, a few days later back for the surgery. So what have I done? I stand up on Sunday morning, keep my arm a little bit closed on the body that I cannot move my arm, and I go back on the street. So 12 hours after the accident, I stand with these people back on the street. And we are going distributing books and flyers. And the people say, are you crazy? What are you doing here? I say, I have promised with my word, I come and help you. And I will not stop, even if with broken bones or whatever. And if Jesus leads you and he wants that you have success, there is no excuse to step back and say, I don't want. If the devil tried to stop you, go a pace higher and go a pace higher and go a pace higher. And whatever the devil is doing and try to stop you, go one step further and tell him how big your Lord is, and I will show you. And that is an example what you have to do, because after that, the pastors and the people in the church see what I'm doing. And some people who are going out on the street and see me on the street distributing books and flyers, they make some pictures of me with my arm bandage and everything. And they send it to the people in the church and say, this crazy guy from ASI is coming with his broken bone and he's reading books. What are we doing at home? And the people was motivated and call me and say, I want to come on the street too. What can I do? And that motivates the people to see, if this guy is so crazy and he can go on the street and spreading books and distributing flyers with broken bones, I can do it too. So, and I see even the pastor calling me and what are you doing? Why are you doing this? And what are you doing? I need another pastor for coming for Sabbath for preaching. I say, no, I will be there. I have a surgery 2 days before, but that is an excuse not to come on Sabbath in the church and preach. And that motivates the whole church in the whole area where we have the General Assembly to say, okay, let's do that. And they find at least 20, 30 people who say, we want to come with you on the street and distribute the flyers and the books.
That's so powerful. That's so amazing. So what I see here is that the ASI president broken shoulders on the street for Jesus, because love is so much motivating you, right? And so you are on fire. Dominic, maybe as people are listening to you and they think, wow, this is so amazing, you know, so much fire. And but at the same time, this is not your full-time job, right? You have a full-time job, right?
Yes, of course.
So you have your own company, right?
Yes.
So you're taking care of your own company, you're making money with your own company, and you're working on your free time for Jesus, for ASI.
Yes.
Yes, this is so amazing. What an amazing testimony.
Yeah.
So
yeah, if you have a motivation and if you have a vision what you want to do, there is nothing that will stop you, because some people has excuses and other people has dreams and visions, but you cannot have both of them.
Yes.
So if you want to go in the work for the Lord, you have to keep your excuses out of the way.
That's very important.
Everybody can have excuses.
Yes.
But you should not put the excuses in the way what you want to do and what our work is to do, because Jesus gave us the free angels message to go out and preach the gospel in the whole world.
Yes.
And we cannot say, oh, I have no time, I have some broken bones, I have this problem, I have that problem, or I have my own company. These are all excuses. You can do whatever you want if you keep your excuses out of your way and do just what the Lord wants.
Amazing, huh? Yeah. Amazing. And I can imagine that the Lord is blessing your company as well, because you take time for the Lord and he is doing his work to bless you in your company.
Yeah, we know that the time is short and we have not so many years in front of us. And as more as we going on, as more troubles we will have, as more problems will stay in our way, but we have to be focused, and more we have to be on fire for the Lord.
Yes.
Because you see what the Reformation had done. People was ready to die for their belief.
Absolutely.
They was ready to be killed, but not step back in their belief. And we have to go back on that way, that we are ready to fight for our belief. We have to fight. This will be a fight that is coming on in the next few years. And that will be not easy.
And you had amazing examples in Switzerland of Reformation. I would like to show you something, at least to our people. You know your website, but some people don't know your website so well. If I go ASI-ch.org, I see the beautiful mountain here and the Swiss flag. Yes. And then you have a lot of project description and history description here. But what I really like is this one here. I have never seen that before. This is the next dates. And usually there is one date. But if I look to yours, there is a date, there's another date 24, there's another date 24, there's another date. So that's what you talked about. Even you're planning far ahead until 2025. You have already even the speakers ready. Different speakers who are coming from different countries, if it's Norway or Czech Republic or Germany. So I see a lot of names and a lot of planning ahead. So this is, I think, really, really amazing. What amazing work, and what a blessed work, you and your team, because you're not alone. You have an amazing team around you. And I believe that you do such a blessing. And I hope that this interview will motivate a lot of other countries who are maybe a bit more dormant, a bit more inactive, or maybe just traditional ASI meetings every year. But I hope that this interview might motivate people to follow ASI Switzerland, but even better, to follow Jesus and to ask him, what is the project for our country, right?
And you see that we are planning now our meetings at least 2 years in front.
Yes.
Because the meeting that we have, our General Assembly that we are planning for 2025, will be for at least 7 or 10 days.
Yes.
not only a weekend or a single day. So if it's possible, we will do it for 10 days. And the point is, we will go to a part of Switzerland where there is no church, no Adventist church, and no Adventist people are living there. And the reason why we are planning 2 years in front is we will go in the next 2 years regularly to these places to have book distribution events, to go out on the street, speak with the people, try to invite people for Bible study. So we will prepare this meeting in 2 years, this evangelization that we will have for 5 or 10 days. We will prepare this whole area from Switzerland 2 years in front and try to even have 1 or 2 Bible study groups, or maybe have some group of people who are helping us then to organize this evangelization. And the reason why we are planning 2 years ahead is we want to start a new church exactly in that point of Switzerland where there is no existing church now. And we are planning to start a new church in that part of Switzerland, and we are planning 2 years ahead and going and preparing for everything. And that is what we have to do. We have to go out and fight for every single person and try to open new churches, new areas, and do everything what we can.
So this is so amazing. This really touches my heart, because I am a church planter. I love church planting. I love church growth. And you put that even on your flags. It's not only the cross, but it's only on your flag that we want to reach unreached areas. Is that a secret where you're going, which area, or is that, can we use that in the interview? Which area are you going?
That is already published on our website. It's in the Oberwallis. It's a Roman Catholic area.
Yes.
And we have no church.
The whole area, there is no church.
The whole area, there is no church. There is
no activities, nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
So may God really bless you, and I think all the chapters who are listening to this interview also may join in prayer. But maybe some of the people say, I want to come for a week, I want to come for 2 weeks, I want to come for a month. Maybe somebody wants to come for a year to live and work in Oberwallis, to reach out to the people in Oberwallis.
Absolutely, everybody is welcome.
Oh, that's so nice. Dominic, I thank you so much for this precious time you gave me for this interview, and for the chapters of ASI, to share your personal belief, but also share your work. And I think we have been very motivated by your work. Thank you for your light inside and outside the church, and may God bless you richly, and also give you good health so that your shoulder can move again soon, fast, so that you can be full of health.
Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you a lot.